Hello, dear participants of Eurasian Conference on Human-Computer Interaction 2024. Here is our paper title, From Interaction to Integration, How Emerging Technologies Are Transforming Human-Computer Relationships. Our paper conceptual review focusing on how human-computer interaction field evolves in time and possible challenges and ethical consideration for the future. Briefly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Emirhan Aksu. I'm PhD candidate in Technology Management at Hanyang University, Graduate School of Technology Management and Innovation. Also, my advisor, Professor Jieun, she has PhD in Service Design. She's focusing on intelligent healthcare and design innovation. Here is our presentation content. Our presentation content following the same as our paper, Introduction, Literature, From Interaction to Integration, Impact on User and Society, Challenges and Ethical Considerations, Future Directions, and Conclusion. When we look at the human-computer interaction history, we see in modern computers, we had desktop computers since the 1970s, personal computers. And when it comes to end of 90s, we start to have cell phones. And in early 2000, we had smartphones. And in same time, these computer technologies are integrated with our daily devices, such as cars. And later they become more wearable devices, like such as smartwatch. And in recent days, we had the augmented and virtual reality devices. And currently, there are some developments focusing on brain-computer user interfaces. So from technology management point, we wanted to focus on this progress, and we wanted to define challenges, impacts, and ethical considerations for this matter. When we look at the literature outlook in this human-computer interaction field, in 1970s, we see the command line interfaces, which were only used by the keyboards. Later, the development of graphical user interfaces in 80s. We also interact with the computers with mouse input device. In 90s, we start to use our voice as input device, and early 2000s and middle 2000s, we start to have touch haptic interfaces. In this period of time, we had many different kind of input devices specialized for different purposes. Also, in last 15 years, we developed the image recognition and advanced level sensors, such as the cameras. Also, these days, there's, as I mentioned, research focusing on brain-computer interfaces and using this kind of implant chips for interacting with user brains. But there is not always progress in the development of the input device. There's also some software-based developments too. One of them was the personalization in 2000s. This based on the user behavior and user decisions. And we could get personalized content from this technology. Also, in the same time, voice interfaces, haptic interfaces, and image recognition sensors are grouped under the name of the zero user interface. And recently, last 5 to 7 years, we had conversational AI technology and also brain control user interfaces are in development. We see some developments from some famous companies. When we look at these emerging technologies individually, as you can see, here is the examples from zero user interface. Here's the game console, and there are players playing the game without interacting with any physical controller. So there is camera with that field sensor. It's just allowing users to play games from the distance without touching anything. Here's the smart speaker that can be used with the Amazon or Google services or any kind of service that allow to interact with user voice. Here's the Magic Leap device, which allows people to control their computers without touching with just hand gestures. And when we look at the personalization, as you can see here, this is a YouTube. After we watch some videos from our interest, we can see personalized list of video from the YouTube. Also Spotify, depends on what kind of music we like. We can see later on some suggestions for us. Also, when we do shopping, there are some websites tracking our behaviors. And with these advancements, we can get personalized suggestions for doing shopping. And last 5 to 7 years, there are conversational AIs. We can interact with them And in this time, we are not just one-sided interacting with them. They are also giving us direct personalized feedback. We can discuss with them and do many things in recent days. And there's also new devices focusing on the brain-computer user interfaces. As you can see from this example from the Neuralink, users can even able to play games and browse the internet. So when we look at the brief outlook, the progress of the human-computer interaction, we were just sitting in front of our tables and interacting with desktop computers. Later, we are mobilized and computers become more smaller. We could use these smartphones anywhere, anytime. And in recent days, we also start to augment our reality and environment with the augmented and virtual reality glasses. And lately, we are on the track to develop brain-computer user interface devices, which will also allow us to use computer even we are sleeping. So when we look at the papers, we had 45 papers and we tried to focus on what kind of considerations they had for future technologies. So we note these considerations and we write them directly and we categorize them under 4 categories: accessibility and inclusivity, social and emotional impact, dependence and cognitive effects, and ethical and privacy concerns. These sentences are directly from the papers, and we later try to narrow down them to keywords to define them better and try to guess which possible outcome, negative impacts can come from these technologies. Later, we had 42 different impact definitions, highlights. As you can see in here, eroding user confidence, emotional engagement, data breaches, data privacy, equity and access, medical risks, inclusivity, fairness, and more. And at the last part, we bring them under some categories. And as you can see in here, some impact terms highlights that we find out previously. We put them under some categories and we cluster them. And we had 6 different categories: over-reliance on AI, privacy and security, transparency and trust, ethical design, challenges in zero UI implementation, ethical considerations for BCI. If we look at in detail, we can see few impact terms may be shared by different categories because they are also same concern for same category. Later in our paper, we mentioned these 6 categories, and we also supported them with some citations from the other papers in 6 categories. When we look at the today and the future of the human-computer interaction, we see that interconnections between these emerging technologies are drivers of the integration. When we look at the zero UI, we see that innovation of natural and screen interaction, seamless human-computer integration is on the way, and creation of technologies improve accessibility for diverse users is still happening for many different kind of users with accessibility concerns. And when we look at the AI becoming more emotionally intelligent and advancing understanding of the contexts and emotions to enhance user experiences. And there is also adaptive learning in the AI, implementing of AI that learns from user interaction, personalized experiences. And when we look at the BCI, there's development for direct through communication and cognitive enhancements. And these developments can maybe also bring some benefits such as memory enhancements and other cognitive improvements through technology. All these technologies are big insight, but they also based on the personalized experience. So we are forecasting that all these technologies will be personalized in the future. But there are some concerns. Ethical frameworks are needed for integration of AI and brain-computer interfaces. More diverse research are needed for user acceptance and of invisible and neural interfaces, enhancing security protocols to address vulnerabilities in emerging technologies, innovation to improve accessibility and inclusivity for diverse user populations, improvement of personalization algorithms to avoid bias and ensure fairness is most basic requirement. Also, as expected, preparation for social implications such as job placement through reskilling effort and collaborative planning. So at the end, from human-computer interaction to human-computer integration, We see that these emerging technologies like zero UI, personalization, and conversational AI and BCIs are transforming human-computer interaction, moving towards the integration. These technologies offer many potential benefits for users and society. However, there are also challenges and ethical considerations, as we mentioned previously, also in our paper. We are expecting to see that researchers, developers, designers, and policymakers all have roles in play in ensuring that these technologies are implemented reasonably and contribute positively to our societies. So thank you for listening our presentation about our paper. We are open to any kind of question and collaboration. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.